All right. So welcome to Money Talk, guys. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I hope you guys are learning a lot. Welcome to another great episode, guys. I want to celebrate a milestone with you guys that we hit. And it's really, really amazing to know that Money Talk have officially hit over 20 episodes. 20 recorded episodes are now available of Money Talk on our YouTube channel for all of you guys to always to go back and watch, listen to, share, and empower yourself and your family. A lot of the classic Money Talks that were recorded were up there for you to watch, listen to. It is now available on YouTube where it says Money Talk with Mr. Finance. So hit a big yes for you guys did this, right? We did this. It wasn't a me thing, it was a we thing. Every one of you contributed to this movement. We hit 20 episodes of quality information. So if you feel proud right now, light me up green and let me know that we are doing something great every time when we have a Money Talk. Light me up green right now. I want to see all the greens. If you feel proud, if you're learning from Money Talk, go into your participant section right now, light it up green, and let me know that you're learning right now. Light it up green. Light it up green. I want to see all the greens. All right? I want to see all the greens if you're learning in Money Talk right now. I want to see if you guys are learning in Money Talk. Are you guys happy for Money Talk? Because I am super happy for you guys, man. Let me tell you, man. I want you to start off the day. You know how we're going to start it off? We're going to start off like this. Say, I am awesome. Say it with me. I am awesome. One more time in the back. I am awesome. Say it again. I am awesome. Say, I am the best. I am the best. Say it again. I am the best. That's right. That's right. And you know what? I feel like one more. I am unstoppable as well. Come on. I am unstoppable. One more time. I am unstoppable. Yes, this is how Money Talk. I feel like this with Money Talk this morning. Man, when I uploaded that 20 something episode, I was like, wow. Wow. Who would have ever guessed Money Talk would have been here? If I would have recorded, it's almost been a year Money Talk been out, man. If we would have recorded, I would have been in the hundreds, right? But all great things take time. And with time, greatness can happen. So thank you guys for making Money Talk great. But today, this week we've been talking about, the wealth formula. If you've been here Monday, you would have heard we talked about money. If you were here yesterday, you'd have heard us talk about the importance of time and rate of return. And today, what's the next step on the wealth formula? It's called inflation. It says minus inflation. Now, what is inflation? Guys, let me tell you something. I woke up this morning and I was having an amazing talk with Chantal, and we were talking about the debt clock, right? The debt clock. If you guys never been on the debt clock yet, I want you guys to go to debtclock.org. All right? I need you guys to go on debtclock.org, and I need you guys to really look at this thing. I was, as I sat here, we're sitting here reading, and we read the Bible, and then we got on the debtclock.org, and we started looking at all the debt that our country has, and we're looking at the citizens that working and all these things. And she asked me a question. She said, is this how inflation happens? And I showed her how much currency was printed based upon the years of when they were printed and stuff like this, and how much currency is inside of our economy versus the workers. And all these things were helping her to understand how is it that inflation, and I was showing her how the price of gold and silver and all these things are going up, right? Due to the dollar is losing its buying power, right? The dollar is, it's almost like they were saying like the dollar is dying, right? The dollar is dying. Well, we see many countries where this hyperinflation killed the currency. Venezuela was a recent one. Many of you guys did not realize that Venezuela's inflation rate went through the roof and it destroyed their currency. And their money become worth nothing, where people just threw the money on the street because it's worth nothing, right? So what is inflation? You know, guys, at first I used to think like, why we don't know about inflation? And I realized that the day Americans knew what inflation was, it's the day Americans will realize that money haven't been money since 1971. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? Money haven't been money since 1971. Now, you're probably wondering what happened in 1971. Well, let's get on our phone now. I'm teaching you guys how to do research, right? Get on your phone right now, right? You know, if you're on Money Talk on your phone, I want you to go to Google right now. I want you to go to Google and say, all right, type in Google. When did, right? I'm telling you what to type in now. Type it with me. When did money stop being backed by gold? All right? This is a good thing now. Listen to this. I know my phone keeps pressing hold. All right. So what come up for you guys, right? And it came up for Chantal. But you guys should see August 15, 1971. It says the government held the 35 per ounce price until August 15, 1971, when the President Richard Nixon announced that the United States would no longer convert dollar to gold at a fixed value, thus completely abandoning the gold standard. Ooh. Now, I want you guys to go back to the participant section now real quick. How many of you on Money Talk right now knew this? Press yes or no. If you knew it, press yes. If you didn't know this, press no. I want to see how many of you guys did know this. All right. I'm seeing a lot of no's. Wow. Wow. There's a lot of no's. Wow. All right. That's scary. That's scary that a lot of you guys didn't know this. You know how I knew this? I read the Saving the Future book 7 times. It made me curious. So I started asking questions and started researching. So that's why I said that money haven't been money since 1971, because it took us off the gold standard. Now, why was the gold standard important? Because now when you had money, it valued something. So now you got to ask yourself, well, what is the value of the money now? What is the real value of the money if it's not backed by gold, if it's not worth anything? What is the worth if the money is not really money anymore? Well, the worth is that you gave it value. You, the people. You gave it value. You believed in it. You trusted. You believed in it. So that's when what's called a fiat. Listen to me now. A fiat. Now go back to Google again. What is? See, I'm teaching you guys something today, man. What is a fiat? If you don't know how to spell fiat, I'm not the best speller in the world, but I can help you. It's called Fiat. It's just like on the car, fiat. So what is a fiat currency? And make sure you hit that question mark on there. Hit that search button, since you guys, I'm teaching you guys how to Google the right things. So it says here, a fiat currency is a currency established as money. Do you hear what I just said to you? I hope you caught that. Fiat money is a currency established as money, often by government regulation, but that does not have the interests, what's that proper pronunciation? Because I want to make sure I pronounce it properly. Intrinsic, right? Intrinsic value. It says fiat money does not have use value and has value only because a government maintains its value or because parties engaging in exchange agree on its value. So there's no true value unless you and I agree that this has value, right? So why is this? Why is this way? Well, think about it, guys. It all comes back down to the word inflation. Why am I sharing all this with you? It's because if you truly want to understand inflation, you got to truly understand our monetary system. How many of you guys know what a monetary system is? Hit yes or no. How many of you know what a monetary system is? Right? If you know a monetary system, hit yes in the participant section. If you don't know what a monetary system is, hit no. And it's okay if you don't know. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't be ashamed to say I don't know what a monetary system is. Because I didn't learn it until I started researching in my years. Right? Now, what is a monetary system? The monetary system, here in the US at least, it tells you the flow of how money goes. It tells you how money is being created. There's an amazing video on YouTube. You should probably watch it, and your children should watch it. It's by, I think his name is Steve Malone. Amazing guy. He's very big on precious metals and commodities. He's big into precious metals and commodities. He does an amazing series where he talks about what is the monetary system and how does it work and how is money being created from coming right back from the Federal Reserve and from the Federal Reserve through the banking system, from the banking system to the Treasury, and from the Treasury to the government officials, from the government officials to the public workers, from the public workers to the IRS and to the bank, and then back into the population. He breaks all this down. An amazing video. I learned a lot from it. I highly encourage you guys to definitely watch this video, especially with your children, and teach them what the monetary system is very early. Because if you understand the monetary system, you will understand what I'm about to tell you when it comes to inflation, because inflation is not complicated. It is very easy. But I'm giving you all the steps for you to understand it. So here it goes. Inflation. It says that inflation is a silent killer. It's like carbon monoxide. Inflation is the carbon monoxide for money. Just like carbon monoxide for human beings, can't smell it, can't taste it, can't see it, can't touch it. Be around it long enough, it will kill you. Inflation is the carbon monoxide for our money. Okay? Just always remember that. If there's anything you remember, just remember that inflation is carbon monoxide to money. Okay? The reason why is because inflation represents the rise in the price of goods and services over time. It also represents the fact that your purchasing power will decrease every time the price of a goods or services increases. So when you think about milk, you think about the gas, you think about your house. That's why when people tell me that, oh, investing in a home is a good investment due to the value of the home will go up. Realistically, the value of the home didn't really go up. It's just that the cost of living have increased, which means the price increased, which means that if the price increased, that means your purchasing power decreases. So realistically, yes, if you bought a house in the 70s for $30,000, and just because you had it till then, till 2013, where it's worth $400,000, you may say, well, the house value grew. Not really. Because every time the house value grew, just know that the purchasing power of the money decreases because the money was much stronger in the 70s compared to 2014. So really, did the money really grow, or did the purchasing power got less, which requires more money? Do you guys understand that section now? So don't get caught up in this whole, oh, the value of things go up later on. Every time the price increases, purchasing power decreases. The only way you will capitalize on this price increase is if there's a new monetary system that get put in place with a new currency, and it's going to keep the same value at a zero-based currency. That's the only way this will work. But until then, I don't get the big hype. I don't get caught up in that because I understand what I understand now. So the big thing that we got to look at and understand to 100% is that, did you know how? How is it happening to us? Well, did you know inflation happens when our country, or let me be more specific, every time the Federal Reserve keep printing more money and more money and more money, the more they print it, if they print more than what the country earns, that's why I said you got to go to the U.S. debt clock, and then you got to, this is a public record. This is no secret. Type in, let's go to YouTube real quick. Not YouTube, go to Google. Type in, how much currency was printed in 2020. Look, the Federal Reserve Board, currency print orders. This is public record to you guys. You could know. It's not a secret. There's no secret. You think it's a secret? You could know how much money was printed in the last 20 years. And then what you could do is you go to the usdebtclock.org and see how much our country made in the past 20 years and see how much was printed versus what we were made. See, I'm just giving you guys a whole lot of knowledge right now. You just got a whole lot of game that you probably never knew about. You see, every time the country prints more money than it actually earns, the result is that everybody, rich or poor, will lose value of their money. Some people consider the inflation to be a hidden tax system in our monetary system. So if you're not earning interest that is higher than what the inflation rate is, then you're losing money game, because that's why rich people don't care about the investment. They don't care about where the money's being put. They care about two things. What kind of interest can you give me on my money? What is the return on my investment? And what is it going to be taxed? That's why rich people don't like paying taxes, and they look for better rate of return, because they got to know, they know the fact that inflation is always in the back of their head and taxes is unpredictable. These are two things that they care about, and they pay attention to it. That's why rich people learn their risk tolerance. They got to know their risk tolerance. So that way they know that my goal is to gain good interest on my money, get more money to keep up with the cost of living. They never get satisfied. So people call them greedy. It's not greed, guys. It's because they understand that inflation is devaluing the very money that they have already. So if you had $1 million sitting in the bank right now, and 2 years from now, that $1 million is not even worth $1 million anymore, due to the nature of the cost of living gone up. So when you're worried about, oh, I need to increase my income, no. You got to think about COL, cost of living. What is the cost of living going up? Because let me give you an idea. Let's say you sat down with a financial professional today, and you say, hey, I want to plan for my retirement, right? And you're planning this retirement, and you said that I want $4,000 coming into me today, right? You're making this plan for 20 years later, right? 20 years you're going to retire. And you said, based on today, what the things cost me today, my mortgage, everything, all this, right? $4,000 in retirement is good money. And by doing this, guess what happened? 20 years later, you didn't take in consideration that inflation. What happened? So let's say that inflation was at a 3%, right? Let's say inflation is at 3%. Did you know that 20 years later, when you're ready to retire now, right? Due to the inflation rate going up, you would need $7,224. You would need to have $7,224 per month to have the same buying power as like when you planned for 20 years prior with $4,000 to come into you. My question is, are you prepared for it? How many of you are planning your retirement and thinking about what inflation will be? Guys, there's inflation calculators. Go to Google right now. Go to Google right now and type in inflation, right? Inflation calculator. And if you want to be more specific, there it is. You see one pop up where it says inflation calculator, US dollar value from 1913 to 2020, right? You can use that one. It's the US inflation calculator. Click on it. And look, it tells you right there. Look at do you see when you click on it, it says from 1913, it says purchasing item for $1. Then in 2020, enter the year, it says the same item would cost now. So imagine this, guys, something that would have cost $1 in 1913. Today, it will cost $26.17. What is the inflation rate on that? Do you see that? 2,517.2%. So if you're not thinking about this, guys, and if you're not really looking into inflation and understanding it, then how are we going to win the money game? How are we going to truly win the money game? So one of the things I want you to really think about, guys, is that start paying attention. Start paying attention. Because if you don't start paying attention, you will not win the money game. Do you realize that they choose a specific year, 1913? You want to know why they choose 1913? Take a guess. If anybody could get this right? But I'm going to give you a hint. I'm going to tell you anyway, because I don't care. I'm not biting my tongue. 1913 is the very same year that the Federal Reserve was implemented in our monetary system. We never used to have income tax before until 1913, when the first ever income tax was enrolled into our monetary system. And that's where income tax was at 7%. The lowest it's ever been since. Ever since that, income tax have gone up since then. But how did the Federal Reserve came a part of our monetary system? Guys, these are things you got to ask questions. And you better be awake. You got to be awakened. All right? So I hope you guys understand the importance of inflation and why you must learn it, understand it, implement it, be aware of it. Don't just go blind to this knowledge. All right? So what I would like to do is, just so you know, tomorrow, if you think inflation talk today was incredible, you just wait till tomorrow when we talk about taxes. If you think you understand taxes, wait until tomorrow when I start breaking down taxes and giving you the understanding of why we pay taxes today and the type of taxes that we pay. All right? So I would love to open up the call for anyone that would like to share, make a comment, or share their feedback, or ask a question, right? And I would love to answer it. If I don't have the answer, trust and believe me, I will find the answer and I'll answer it on tomorrow's Money Talk, right? Or I'll try to message you on a one-on-one basis to give you your answer, right? But I would say whatever I don't know, I will find the answer. and I'll get you an answer. But any questions, if you'd like to ask a question or make a feedback, just raise your hands or press the yes button, and I will call on everybody individually because I'd love to hear from you guys. So if anybody like to share or ask a question, just like I said, press the yes button or the raise your hand feature, and I will call on you one-on-one.
Hi, good morning, everybody. This is Chantal. I just wanted to say, wow, oh my goodness. Inflation is really just stealing our money without us even realizing. And I know that this talk has definitely opened my eyes, and I want to learn more. I really just want to keep learning and keep listening to more money talk and doing what Keyon said, Google it, research, read more. I honestly know that for a while I didn't want to read unless I had to for an exam, but those readings that I did never did anything for my life as much as reading about finance and how money works. So now my eyes are opened, and I'm motivated and excited to start learning more. So, I encourage all of you that are on this call today to definitely do the same as well.
Thank you for that share. Anybody else would like to share? See, I'm looking in.
Thank you.
We have Ms. Victoria Gordon. Good morning. And then we'll get you,
Good
Sean.
morning. Good morning, Keyon. Good morning, everyone. It's a wonderful day. Thank you for that insight on inflation and the historical background. I really appreciate it, and it really makes you think about things a little more and what's going on in our world today. So thank you so much. Learned a lot. And as I always say, you can even learn from a child if you're just open to receive and try and understand. So thank you for that insight this morning.
You're very welcome, Ms. Victoria. Thank you for always tuning in. We appreciate you. I believe we got Sean. Good morning.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on? Morning, buddy.
Yeah, that was awesome information right there, man. I appreciate it. Definitely learned a lot, and can't wait for tomorrow.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Money talk is where it's at.
Yes, sir.
Definitely. Let me see here. We have Miss Swan. Good morning.
Good morning, Keyon and everyone. It's good to hear new voices on the money talk, coming to learn and get this knowledge that Keyon is dropping for us every day. Love it, love it, love it. As you were talking about the U.S. debt clock, I was just kind of looking at it because normally when I look at it, I only focus on the debt, the $1 trillion debt that America's in the world. But then I happen to be looking at other little fields where it said there are 28 million without insurance. That's something we need to know. There's 35 million living in poverty. It's just, it's just something to look at and have those stats, although they change every second because the numbers are just popping every second. But thanks for just having us to dig deeper and to do the research to learn and not just take your word for it. Because even with going to church and listening to the pastor, we still don't take their word. We have to interpret the Bible for ourselves. So I just want to thank you for all that you pour into us every day. It's very much appreciated, and you will definitely be blessed for all that you give. Thanks for allowing me to share.
You're very, very welcome. You know, and I'm just excited that I was just given this knowledge. You know, I don't remember the word for itself, but I remember my mom always said that God would take the person that is the least qualified to do his work, because it would be the person that everybody would expect not to be the one to do it. It almost reminded me of the story of Saul, if I remember, if that's the correct term, Miss Victoria, if you could correct me if I'm wrong. I think his name is Saul. The fact that he was the one that was hunting down everybody else, and then he became the most relentless person to preach the word, right? So I feel like I'm the Saul of finance. You know, just I never cared for it. Never had the knowledge. I didn't go to college. I had the learning disability. All these
Master of
things.
finance.
You're talking about Saul who becomes Apostle Paul?
Right. So that because he was the one who was hunting down
The Christians.
right, to stop the wholeness that was going on there, and he became the most relentless, fearless one to preach the word.
That's right.
Right. So I feel like I am him in the financial sector because
Yes, you are.
you know, I have no fear. I have zero fear. I don't care. Right? Because people need to know. And people must know. And I'm not going to stop until everybody knows. Right? And that's where we are, because we have a responsibility. It's important that we learn. I'm telling you, guys better look on there, man. There's a lot of things happening on that debt clock. It tells you a lot. I'm telling you, I was sitting here in bed, laying down, and we were talking about it. This morning we woke up and we look at the debt clock and literally analyzing the whole thing, breaking it down sector by sector. And this is things that you guys gotta. When I say pillow talk about money. Pillow talk about the knowledge of finance, and it helps you. Because once you understand it, it makes sense. It's like a blueprint. It's like the road becomes so much clearer, because it's something that we have to use to have a livelihood, right? And it's important that we know how to use it. So let's use money, but not just money, but let's use the knowledge to be our navigation and to be our clarity, because no one else is going to make it clear for you than yourself. That's what I tell you. Don't just take my word for it. Do your research. Find out if this guy is crazy. Is he just talking? He sounds confident about what he's talking about. Is he right? And please, do your due diligence. And if you find out that I'm right with all that I say, then what you going to do? I will hope you take the necessary actions to do great things for you and your family, right? Because there's a lot of things I want to talk about to you guys. I want to talk as the future progresses. We got to talk about the new, oh man, I'm not even going to get into that. But there's a lot to talk about. And the time will come as we progress into it. But I want you guys to at least, that's why I'm recording these things, so I can get past this part of Money Talk. And if anybody want to learn more about wealth formula, I could just tell them, go listen to episode 15 through 20, right? And I know they could get that part. So now I want to get past that. And let's get into what's going on, the nitty-gritty of the world out there, past the concepts now. Let's talk about the economy. Let's talk about different subjects now and start educating. And we record them and we keep track of them. So now we create a library, right? So that's what Money Talks about. It's about the empowerment. It's a movement. It's a documented library where someone could go and get a wealth of information in less than 30 minutes each episode. All right. So Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, tomorrow we're going to talk about taxes. I'm going to break it down. And we're going to have a really great talk tomorrow. So don't miss it. As usual, I'm going to give you a lot of history, a lot of understanding from what I've learned. You guys going to learn about how it came about. You're going to learn. Anyway, tomorrow's going to be a good one. Right? I can't give it all away. So on the count of three, guys, let's all wish out. Thank you for making Monday Talk today. And we're going to have a good day. So on the count of three, 1, 2, 3. Let's whoosh.
Push.
One
Team.
team.
One
One
team, one
team.
team, one
Uh,
dream.
have a great day, everyone.
Have a great day, everybody.
Have a great day.
All right. Bye-bye.
Have a blessed day, guys.